Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. Getting down with fresh out prison talk. They said that this was going to be the time of awakening and an elevation of consciousness, and we see a lot of things coming to light, whether it's the P. Diddy situation, whether it's a lot of the corruption within government, or the dark side of entertainment and fashion. And today I just read an article, BBC, about ex-Abercrombie CEO arrested on sex trafficking charges. The former CEO of fashion giant Abercrombie and Fitch and his British partner have been arrested and are facing sex trafficking charges. Mike Jeffries, his partner Matthew Smith, and the couple's alleged middleman were arrested on Tuesday morning. The FBI and prosecutor's office are expected to announce more details at the press conference. Lawyers for Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith have both previously denied any wrongdoing by both men. Responding to the latest news, Mr. Jeffries' lawyer told the BBC, "We will respond in detail to the allegations after the indictment is unsealed and when appropriate, but plan to do so in the courthouse, not the media." A lawyer for Mr. Smith has been approached for a new comment. ANF declined to comment on the latest developments. The FBI opened an investigation last year after the BBC revealed claims that Mike Jeffries and his partner sexually exploited and abused men at events they hosted in their New York residences and hotels around the world. I know everybody was saying, "Oh man, they're just going after the black man." Well, it doesn't really matter the color of your skin. If you're exploiting human beings and you're using them to gain control and power over them through exploitive means, you're going to be exposed, man. You're going to be exposed, and this is the season of exposure. You know, Cat Williams said it. Other entertainers have talked about it, and now it's coming to fruition. And I've told you guys in other videos about the male model industry. You don't hear a whole lot about the underside of it or the dark side of it, because no male model wants to be labeled with homosexual activity publicly. I'm not saying I have anything against people who are homosexual, that's your business, but in the male model industry, that is a big thing, man. I tried to be a male model at one point, and I didn't realize how biased it was in that sense, where a lot of the people who ran the industry felt that way. How they utilize that as kind of like their own their own playground. And for females, of course you got these guys who exploit these women, young girls, and oftentimes take advantage because they're in a power position. But it's the same thing with male modeling. And I've seen how they get down on auditions. I've been around a lot of the guys, and I can tell when a guy is a little moist, and like I said, I'm not judging. That's your business. It just wasn't my thing. And it's like you want to be successful. You want to get that billboard or that magazine cover or that campaign, but at what cost, man? At what cost? I was always a little too big as far as my size. I was probably at the time 225, 230, and they wanted me to come down to like 190, 185 or something like that. I couldn't. 200 is big for my height. I'm pushing like 6 foot. But if you're 6 foot, 230, that's too big. You got to be like under 200 pounds because they want that really slender look. But anyways, a BBC investigation found there was a sophisticated operation involving a middleman, network of recruiters tasked with recruiting men for events. Following BBC's reporting, a civil lawsuit was filed in New York accusing Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith of sex trafficking, rape, and sexual assault. The lawsuit also accused Abercrombie Fitch of having funded a sex trafficking operation led by his former CEO over 2 decades. He was in charge. Under U.S. law, sex trafficking includes getting an adult to travel to another state or country to have sex for money by using force, fraud, or coercion. Confirming the arrest, Brad Edwards of Edwards Henderson, a civil lawyer representing some of the alleged victims, said these arrests are a huge first step towards obtaining justice for the many victims who were exploited and abused through sex trafficking scheme that operate for many years under legitimate cover of Abercrombie provided. Yeah, man, you're gonna see a lot of things come out, and for a lot of you out there who are really surprised and like, oh man, I can't believe it. Oh, this is so crazy. And well, this is why a lot of people have so many mental challenges, man. Why do you think these people go through these mental breakdowns? Why you think they have substance abuse? They're dealing with things that they did to get there, and it's not easy knowing that you maybe compromise yourself for something, and whatever you compromise yourself for was short-lived. You got a magazine cover, you got a campaign, you travel the world, you got your pretty girlfriend, but how you got it was through something else. And whenever you see that person that you had to get down with, you're like, wow, did I really have to do it, or could I have made it without doing that? And that's the struggle. A lot of people are like, could I have made it just on my talent? And there's a lot of talented people out there, but this is a power game. And that's why, these people, they play that game because it allows them to, sell you a dream. And there's people who, they've been doing it for years and they never get that break. And it's because maybe they didn't want to play ball. In this investigation, the BBC spoke to 12 men who described attending or organizing events involving sex acts run by Mr. Jeffries, 79, and his British partner, Mr. Smith, 60, between 2009 and 2015. The 8 men who attended the events said they were recruited by middlemen who the BBC identified as James Jacobson. Mr. Jacobson, 70, previously told the BBC in a statement through his lawyer that he took offense at the suggestion of any coercion, deceptive, or forceful behavior on my part and had no knowledge of any such conduct by others. The BBC also interviewed dozens of other sources, including former household staff. Some of the men the BBC spoke to said that they were misled about the nature of the events or not told sex was involved. Others said they understood the events would be sexual, but not exactly what was expected of them. All were paid. Several told the BBC the middlemen or other recruiters raised the possibility of modeling opportunities with A&F. David Bradbury, then 23, an aspiring model, said that it was made clear to him that without performing oral on Mr. Jacobson, he would not be meeting A&F CEO Mr. Jeffries. It was like selling fame, and the price was compliance, Mr. Bradbury told the BBC. Mr. Bradbury said he later attended a party at Mr. Jeffries' mansion in the Hamptons in Long Island, where he met Mr. Jeffries and had sex with him. He said the secluded location and presence of Mr. Jeffries' personal staff dressed in A&F uniforms supervising events meant he didn't feel safe to say or I don't feel comfortable with this. After the BBC's initial investigation was published last year, A&F announced it was opening an independent investigation into the allegations raised. We recently asked when this report would be completed and if the findings would be made public, the company declined to answer. Like Mr. Jeffries and Mr. Smith, the brand has been trying to get civil lawsuits against it dismissed, arguing it had no knowledge of the supported sex trafficking venture led by its former CEO, which it has been accused of having funded. Earlier this year, U.S. court ruled that A&F must cover the cost of Mike Jeffries' legal defense as he continues to fight the civil allegations of sex trafficking and rape. The judge ruled the allegations were tied to his corporate role after he sued the brand for refusing to pay his legal fees. The brand said it did not comment on legal matters. However, in its defense submitted to court, A&F said its current leadership team was previously unaware of the allegations until BBC contacted it, adding the company abhors sexual abuse and condemns the alleged conduct by Mr. Jeffries and others. In 2014, Mr. Jeffries stepped down as CEO following the declining sales and left with a retirement package valued around $25 million, according to the company filings at the time. Once one of the America's highest paid CEOs, he was a controversial figure who faced claims of discrimination against staff and concerns about his lavish expenses and complaints about the unofficial influence of his life partner, Matthew Smith, inside A&F. So there you have it. This is all alleged, but a lot of things are going to come to light. So yeah, man, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of things are going to be exposed here, and it's interesting. It's interesting, man. So, Big Herc 916, Prison Talk, fresh out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in.
I'm Big Herc, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive. With Fresh Out Ministries, we're doing a new program where we're doing a takeover of a mom-pop cafe or restaurant, and we're doing a pay it forward. So we're gonna offer free meals at this particular restaurant or cafe, mom-pop, for a certain amount of time, and we are asking that you make a donation to pay it forward so that we can continue doing this program for other mom-pop restaurants and cafes, because we know that it's hard times out here. You have a lot of people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And so we're actually walking the walk. We've been doing it for over 11 years on social media. We've been getting shadow banned. We've been getting demonetized. So we want to give back, and this is our way of giving back to helping everybody through these trying times with this economy. You know, a lot of churches, they got $100 billion, and you don't see them out here helping the people who are in times of need, but they're still taking in the form of donations. But how's it helping the community? We want to build a community sense where we help each other, we can all overcome. You can't sit around waiting for somebody to save you. You got to save yourself. And this is the way you do it. So by us being able to do these takeovers with Fresh Out Ministries, with the mom pop restaurants and cafes, we want to be able to film, talk to you guys, get your feedback on what's going on right now in society. Hopefully you guys find it in your heart to donate. This donation, which is a pay it forward, will allow us to do other mom pops around the country eventually. But right now we're going to be in Southern California and Los Angeles, Orange County. So hey, reach out to your local businesses there. And if you are out of town in another area and you would like us to come there, if you provide the necessary means, we will come there also and do the same pay it forward. But right now, hey, if you're in locally in Los Angeles, Orange County, hit us up, freshoutseries@gmail.com. You can also make a donation on our link tree on our Instagram at Fresh Out Series.